stranger, traveling through this world of woe. But there's no sickness, toil, or danger in that bright land to which I go. I'm going there to see my mother. I'm going there no more to roam. I'm just a-going over Jordan. I'm just a-going over home. I'm just a-going over Jordan. I'm just a-going over home.
Welcome, everyone. Happy holidays. Hanukkah is on Christmas this year. I know we have some Jewish friends with us. Happy Hanukkah. I'm really glad you could join us for this. This is a very special service to me, and it's become very special to me this year. And I've found new things in the story this year, and I hope you do too. It's one of the most powerful stories ever told. It's a story of struggle. It's a story of survival. And it's a story of hope that seems unlikely. It's the kind of story I find for myself that it hands your life back to you and shows you parts of yourself that you either forgot about or that you discover for the first time. So I hope you might find that this evening. I hope you might find a part of yourself either you forgot about or something that was buried, or perhaps you're going to discover something this evening which you've never found before. On this Christmas Eve, come now and let us worship together.
Our first reading comes to us from Margaret Rankel, a chapter in her book, The Comfort of Crows, a backyard year, titled, "And Now the Light is Failing." Quote, "If I could attach a small tag to each of the atoms in my body and travel with them backward in time, I would find that those atoms originated in particular stars in the sky, those exact atoms." From Alan Lightman, Searching for Stars on an Island in Maine. The summer solstice has no effect on me. In June, the leafy trees block so much light, it's hard to notice such gradual changes in the sky. Even growing shorter, the summer days feel endless. Summer itself feels endless. But if I happened to notice the dwindling light, the loss wouldn't trouble me. The cooler breath of nighttime would make it a cost I would gladly pay. Besides, night brings lightning bugs or fireflies. Or at least it used to, before so many people began to drench their yards with poison. Who wouldn't welcome those flashes of brightness under the trees, even if it meant sharing the yard with mosquitoes too? Well, that's a lament for another day. On this day, I'm thinking again of autumn light. In autumn, it's hard for me to think of anything else, and the light is leaving. Now that the leaves have dropped from the hardwood trees and the needles have fallen, making a golden ring beneath the pines, now that the migrating songbirds have passed us in the night, and the park turtles have hidden themselves in their loamy chambers, and the rattlesnakes on the bluff have found the crevices in the rock where they will sleep through the cold. Now that the exaltation of autumn is gone for another year, and the darkness is visibly deeper with every passing afternoon, now is when I begin to yearn for the solstice. I'm yearning for the light. Hope is harder to come by these days, and I find hope more easily in brightness. More light, Goethe famously called on his deathbed, and I understand. In light, there is human companionship, birdsong, a sense, however illusory, of forward motion. In light, the horizon extends before us, a tableau of endless possibility, where darkness allows all manner of doubts to burble up. When we have lost our certainty of purpose, our very understanding of ourselves, we speak of enduring a dark night of the soul. How much easier it is to give in to gloom, even dejection, when it is darkness that feels endless. When I was in college, I liked to walk through fields where the agricultural students practiced their future profession. Mostly, I walked alone, desperate for solitude in a crowded life. But sometimes I walked with my beloved writing teacher. For her, it was cardiac rehab, a way to grow stronger after heart surgery. For me, it was a respite from schoolwork, a chance to watch bluebirds diving for insects from fence posts, to listen to wind blowing across fallow fields. It was also a chance to talk with Ruth. She was a trusted mentor to many other young writers, and I loved having her all to myself. On one walk, she mentioned her method for managing insomnia. I don't know why it made such an impression on me. I was 20, an enthusiastic sleeper. I had such a gift for sleep. I once fell asleep at a high school football game, leaning against the warm knees of my friend. Mary, her older brother, who sat in the bleachers one row up. Still, I listened as Ruth told me how she had learned to surrender to the wakefulness of aging. She had come to realize that fighting it was what made her so tired. If she kept still and calm, if she never paced the house or checked the clock, she sometimes dropped off again. And even when she didn't, she rose feeling almost as rested as if she slept. Maybe I need rest even more than I need sleep, she said. I think often about that conversation, and not just on restless nights. I am very close to the age Ruth was when she was my teacher, and I'm beginning to believe that her strategy for living with insomnia might work for metaphorical kinds of darkness, too. Instead of fighting it so hard, maybe I should be honest, tell myself the brutal truth. That the world as it is, this is what we've made it, and there's no going back. This is the best the living world will ever be, and that's only if we can stop the worst from coming. I'm not saying I've surrendered. I would never surrender. I'm only talking about a temporary ceasefire. Remember the story about the Christmas Day truce during World War I, when German soldiers and English soldiers held their fire against official policy on both sides and sang Christmas carols to each other. That's the kind of ceasefire I mean. The kind where there's a moment to take a breath, a moment for singing. What would life even be without singing? I can't make the hollies stop blooming in November. I can't tell the bluebirds there's no time left for another clutch of eggs, even if the temperature has settled into the 80s here in December. They don't know that the heat is fleeting, but fretting ensures survival of not one baby bird. During my own sleepless nights, I have learned to think of rest as a form of waiting, a state that is both passive and active, resisting the urge to predict, but prepared nonetheless for whatever might come. The night sky is full of stars, best seen from a dark place. I try to remember that too.
In the bleak midwinter, frosty wind made moan. Earth stood hard as iron, water like a stone. Snow had fallen, snow on snow, snow on snow on snow. In the bleak midwinter long ago. angels and archangels may have gathered there. Cherubim and seraphim throng the air, but his mother only in her maiden bliss worship the beloved with a kiss. So what can I give him, poor as I am? If I were a shepherd, I would bring a lamb. If I were a wise man, I would do my part. Yet what can I give him? Give my heart, give my heart.
Our story today about the three wise men is by Reverend Joseph Boyd. Once there were three wise men, sometimes called magi, who had an intuition that there was more to the world than meets the eye. They were living during a time when things seemed very hard. Rulers seemed more oppressive than ever. People seemed more fearful than ever. And the general feeling was that there was very little to look forward to. One of the magi, let's call him Bill, felt the weight of the world so squarely on top of his shoulders that he could barely get out of bed some mornings. Bill said to his two friends, the other wise men, "In this world, I can't discern any sense of meaning or purpose any longer." The other two magi became very concerned and started looking for answers. They read that the stars could predict our destiny, and perhaps if they followed a particularly bright star, it might lead them all to something beyond what they currently perceive. There was one particularly bright star that looked promising, and on a lark, they collectively thought that they'd follow it. They told Bill it would just be an excuse to get out of the house and get some air, to get a change of scenery. They followed the star from the city center where they lived, their stressful and worry-filled lives, all the way to Bethlehem, a place where almost nobody lived. There were more animals than people who lived there. The star stopped right there at Bethlehem, a dead end, they reckoned, leaving them in the middle of nowhere. They stopped, and the silence surrounded them. And there seemed to be no obvious meaning to be found. Then they heard the crying of a baby. It sounded human. They followed the sound of the cry to a dark cave where the townspeople kept animals. They followed the baby's cry deep into the cave, and as it got darker in the cave, the cry grew louder. Suddenly, Bill felt scared and more alive than he had ever been. It seemed that the three of them were on the brink of discovering their destiny, the fulfillment and meaning they had been looking for.
Spirit for 257, To Us in the Moon of Wintertime. This is actually one of my favorite Christmas hymns. It's a North American hymn that originates from when the Jesuits met the Huron tribe in Canada. It's a little tricky, so Tim Rarian is going to take us through it, but it's beautiful, so let's enjoy it.
Okay, before we do it with everything, all right, I want to give you something to think by, okay? So have fun with this. It's great to do a hymn like this that is from a different source that is relevant. So this goes, 'twas in the moon of winter time when all the birds had fled. Hey! Okay? Don't do the hey. I'm just giving you how to keep together. That mighty gitchy Manitou, not Manitou, Manitou. That mighty gitchy Manitou sent angel choirs instead. Okay. Before their lights the stars grew dim and wandering hunters heard the hymn. Jesus, this is the hard part at the end. Jesus ahatonia. Okay? Jesus ahatonia. Jesus ahatonia. Okay?
How many of us speak Huron?
There's one.
There we go, two.
That's awesome.
That's good.
All right, can you get it from that? Of course you can.
How about a little
You're
intro?
Unitarians.
Twas
In the moon of winter time when all the birds had fled, that mighty gitchy Manitou sent angel choirs instead. Before the light the stars grew dim and wandering hunters heard the hymn. Jesus ahatonia, Jesus ahatonia. One more time. Within a lodge of broken bark the tender babe was found. A ragged rope of rabbit skin enwrapped his beauty round. But as the hunter braves new night, the angel song rang loud and high. Jesus ahatonia, Jesus ahatonia. Again, Jesus ahatonia. Just the Jesus part. Jesus ahatonia, Jesus ahatonia.
What is the world without singing, I say? Will the greeters please come forward? It's good to remind ourselves from time to time that the offering is symbolic as well as practical. We pass the plate during our worship service to make a community expression of thanks for the blessing of abundance and to support our community in a tangible way. This month, our offering goes to the minister's discretionary fund. This fund supports friends, members, and community members in a variety of ways, including assistance with temporary housing, help with bills, and support for programming that benefits the community. We will now receive the offering that supports the life of our church, the Mahoning Valley, and our wider world.
Are you ready? Yes. All right.
What child is this who laid to rest on Mary's lap is sleeping, whom angels greet with anthems sweet, while shepherds watch are keeping.
Helpless and hungry, lowly, afraid, wrapped in the chill of midwinter, comes now among us, born into poverty's embrace, new life for the world. Who is this who lives with the lonely, sharing their sorrows, knowing their hunger? This is Christ, revealed to the world in the eyes of a child of the poor.
What child is this who lay to rest on Mary's lap is sleeping, whom angels greet with anthems sweet, while shepherds watch are keeping.
Who is this who sleeps with a stranger here in our midst, looking for shelter among us? Who is this, the outcast? Who do we see amidst the poor, the children of God? This is Christ the King, whom shepherds guard and angels sing. Haste, haste to bring him love, the
So bring him incense, gold, and myrrh. Come, peasant king, to own him. The King of kings salvation brings. Let love in hearts enthrone him. The thirsty those seek peace, those with nothing to offer. Strengthen the feeble, say to the frightened heart, fear not. Here is your guide. This is Christ the King, whom shepherds guard and angels sing. Haste, haste to bring him along, the babe, the Son of Mary, the babe, the Son of Mary.
Please join me in a time of silent meditation. Except for car alarms.
It came upon a midnight clear, that glorious song of old. There were angels banding near the earth, they touch their harps of gold. Peace on the earth to all goodwill, from heaven the news we bring. The world in solemn stillness lay to hear the angels sing. Still though the doven skies they come, with peaceful wings unfurled, and still their heavenly music floats o'er all the weary world. Above its sad and lowly plain, they bend on hovering wing, and ever o'er its babbled sounds the blessed angels sing. But with the woes of war and strife, the world has suffered long. Beneath the angel strength, 1,000 years of wrong, and we who fight the wars hear not the love song which they bring. Oh, hush the noise of battle strife, and hear the angels sing. For lo, the days are hastening on barfoot hearts half old, born with the ever-circling years comes round the age of gold, when peace shall over all the earth its ancient splendors fling, and the whole world give back the song which now the angels sing.
Our next reading comes to us from Robert Frost. Choose something like a star. O star, the fairest one in sight, we grant your loftiness the right to some obscurity of cloud. It will not do to say of night, since dark is what brings out your light. But some mystery becomes the proud. But to be wholly taciturn in your reserve is not allowed. Say something to us, we can learn. By heart and when alone repeat, say something, and it says, I burn. But say with what degree of heat? Talk Fahrenheit, talk centigrade. Use language we can comprehend. Tell us what elements you blend. It gives us strangely little aid, but it does tell something in the end. And steadfast as Keats' eremite, not even stooping from its sphere, it asks a little of us here. It asks of us a certain height. So when at times the mob is swayed to carry praise or blame too far, we may choose something like a star to stay our minds on and be stayed.
There were two, they were travelers on a night so dark and cold. She was young, she was innocent, her baby's birth had been foretold. They were waiting for the light in the darkness. There was soon to be a light in the darkness. There were some, they were guardians in the fields where they kept their sheep. But the brightness of a messenger caused their quiet souls to leap. They were covered with a light in a darkness, surrounded by a light in a darkness. There were three, they were worshippers. They brought gifts from distant lands. They were sent by the eastern winds, and the star revealed the path. They were guided by a light in a darkness. They were following a light in a darkness. I am one, and I'm a traveler in a world so dark and cold. There are many who are searching. Some are young and some are old. They are looking for a light in a darkness, longing for a light in a darkness. I am carrying a light in a darkness. There is a light in the darkness.
You know, I'm truly doubtful that Mary and Joseph ever looked up once at the night sky. I imagine a kind of fearful plodding, one precarious step in front of the other, one step in front of the other in the darkness. Survival is on their minds. Not happiness, not gold, not myrrh. If they can find a way to survive the day and then to survive the night, that would be plenty good enough. I met someone recently who had been to Bethlehem and had taken archaeological tours of the area. He told me the idea of a stable was not quite right. The people in Bethlehem put animals in caves instead. He took a tour in a collection of these caves where animals were kept, a place that was more likely for Jesus' birth, a literal hole in the earth, a dark cave. It was dark, and you could hardly see a thing. A dark cave held a promise no one could believe. This year I see a couple different journeys. One is a journey of survival. Two strangers, one of them pregnant, traveling as strangers in a strange country, trying to survive the night. Their goal is not religious insight or salvation or the fulfillment of a promise. A dark hole, safe from the elements and the political authorities, would be salvation enough for them. Their focus is on a place of rest, safety. They are not seeking a great sign. They are following their wits to simply live. The other journey is the three magi, wise men, who are looking for a sense of meaning in their lives. They are looking up for a guiding star to lead them to where they do not know. The beauty is these two journeys converge in the dark cave in the middle of the night before light appears. Neither of them knows what the true light is yet. And it's not lost on me this year that the greatest meaning is found in the place of greatest need. The journey of survival and the journey of meaning is where the convergence happens. It's where the magic happens. This year it does not go past me that the wise men are looking up at the sky for a sign, some star to guide their way home. And the wonder they find in that star is the wonder that brings them back down to the precarious and beautiful nature of their life. The star leads them to a woman who gave birth to a life very much like their own, a life they are living right then, but forgot about, a life they forgot to approach with wonder and awe and thanksgiving. They too were born into a world completely open and vulnerable to the elements. This was true from their first breath. Every breath we have taken has been completely precarious, completely dependent on others, and completely miraculous. To catch a glimpse of a large story taking place, to get the feeling that nothing is meant to be left out, is indeed a special night. We are part of each other's stories in ways that are unlikely, intimate, and profound. Discovering those connections is reason for a great hope. My life has something to do with the cosmos. My life has something to do with the great star. My life has something to do with the animals and the darkness. My life has something to do with a family fleeing for survival. My life has something to do with those prepared to offer gifts for my true arrival. Yes, to see and treat the one who is afraid with the gift and attention worthy of a king, to treat another human being with the attention worthy of God, that is a special night, a perfect night. As a stranger, we are more attentive, and we are prone to appreciate what we did not appreciate before. We become grateful for a small light, the small light of a child, which is the light of the world, the small light in each of us, which is the light of a star. And on this night, we find what we are looking for. We find our own life there in the dark cave, ready to be claimed as our own. We hear the cry of a baby, and we know deep down it is our cry too. We see a couple huddled together, seeking warmth and comfort, and we too feel their need for warmth and comfort. We see the love it takes to make one single person survive. And the amount of love that takes leaves us with awe. It leaves us with the sense that perhaps we are here to do something else, to be something else, to converge and to be part of a wonder which has no bounds and no citizenship papers, to be part of a wonder that knows no separation between the miracle of any life and our life, to be part of a wonder that knows deep down we are here to help each other survive and truly live. Helping each other survive and thrive is where our true life is found. It's the life we've been looking for. One movement at a time. One place to spend the night, free from harm. One birth, one place. Our birth, this place. Miracle of miracles. Frankincense and myrrh. The stars foretold our coming, and the light and dark played with us as we wandered for a suitable place to call home. And in the most unlikely of places, we found it. In the life that is our own, that we forgot about. The life that cries out in joy and in need. The life that grows to hope on a star. The life that seeks to evade the authorities. Yes. The life that seeks comfort in a cave and comes to be friends with the darkness. A life that sees a flicker of light and knows a new era is upon us. A new life that is inside us the whole time, waiting for a night like this to come out. And on our breath, without words, are the incantation, holy, holy, holy. Each encounter is holy. We are here trembling in anticipation for the fulfillment of our days, and it has come to us on this day, when the curtain of the world is pulled back, and we gain the confidence to enter the place of need and possibility. And as a community to share a message, do not be afraid. We come bearing gifts. A life that has traveled through the wilderness and is now at rest. At rest. In its own yearning and aliveness. Please pray with me. Spirit of love and light, thank you for the darkness which wraps us in solemn silence. Thank you for the light which shows us the limits of our knowledge and the childlike quality of our world. Guide us with an enduring light that shimmers through the ages, enlightening us to the possibility of wonder, hope, and desire. Guide us toward the survivors and the brokenhearted, the wise and the foolish in us and among us. Guide us toward that which lives within us, deep inside, in our fear and beyond it. Thank you for the story of a star, of a light, of a human child who brings us back to our full selves. Thank you for the conditions that have brought us to this moment on this precious night. All this we pray. Amen.
the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of the dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born, oh, night divine, oh, night, oh, night divine. Truly he taught us to love one another. His law is love, and his gospel is peace. Chains shall he break, for the slave is our brother, and in his name all oppression shall cease. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born, oh, night divine, oh, night, oh, night divine.
A reading from the book of John, chapter 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God. All things were made through him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and that life was the light of men. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child. Holy
for a while. Enjoy it. As you depart on this Christmas Eve, keep in your heart the one true fact. You are loved and never truly alone.
Star of wonder, star of light, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us through this perfect night.